and Union Management. As well said by Angelina, everyone talks about building a relationship with their customers. I think you would build with your employees first. With these relevant codes, I would like to once again welcome you all for the today's webinar on current trends in industrial relations. Now, I would like to call upon Assistant Professor Preeti Yamdagni ma'am to introduce our today's honorable guest speaker, Dr. Dilip Aher sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Urmila ma'am. So we have our today's honorable and eminent guest speaker, that is Dr. Dilip Aher, as an associate professor at ASM Institute of Business Management and Research, Chinchwad, Pune. Sir's qualification is as follows. His qualification is as follows: BSc, DBM, MMS in marketing, MBS in HR, DFT, DLL and LW, LLB, and also PhD. Sir has more than 30 plus years of experience in teaching, as well as he has published 50 plus research paper in Scopus and UGC care listed journals, Wig of Science, and in national and then international conferences also. So once again, I would like to welcome our sir. This was the introduction about the sir. Over to you, Urmila ma'am.
Thank you, Preeti ma'am. I would like to request our Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. J.D. Giri, to address the session. Over to you, sir.
So, happy afternoon, Dr. Dilip Aher sir, and all
Thank you.
participants. See, in these days, everyone is talking about technology and digitization and all these things. But the basic concepts like industrial relations, human resource development, all these concepts that should not lag behind because they are the basics and technology comes afterwards. So, Dr. Dilip Aher sir is the right person to guide us on the topic international industrial relationship. And sir, this is a formal welcome to you on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Prabhakar Kore,
Yes, sir.
on behalf of Kelly Society Science and Commerce College. Sir, I welcome you and we are very much eager to listen to you, sir. So thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, Giri sir, for inviting me to share my views, idea to your student. Again, thank you very much, sir. Once again.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thought provoking address. Now, proceeding with the session, I would like to hand over the e platform to our today's resource person, Dr. Dilip Aher, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, thank you for KLE staff and Giri sir for inviting me to share my views to your student on this current the topic, the current trend in industrial relations. Okay. Before that, everyone knows moving further industrial relations. First, you should know what is the industrial relation. After that, we are going to see in detail the history of industrial relations. After that, we are going to see the industrial relation pre-independence, industrial relation post-independence, and we are going to see in details what comes under industrial relations, that is trade union and industrial dispute act, how to solve such disputes, everything we are going to see, and what is the current trends in industrial relations. Okay, before we move further, everyone knows the industrial relation. What is the relations, industrial relations? Recently madam introduced regarding this, and they have given the meaning of the industrial relations. This is the industrial relation, is the relation between the employer and the employee, or among the employer and their organization that characterized and grown out of employment. This is first definition is says that If there is a good relations in employer and employee, definitely the growth of that organization is carried out. Okay, good relation. What it mean by good relations? Means there is no dispute, there is no conflict in that organizations. That is called good relations. Means there is an industrial peace in the organization. There is a industrial democracy in that organizations. Okay, that is called industrial relations. Okay, and today we can going to see most of the company they follow how to maintain the industrial peace in the organizations, industrial democracy in the organizations, and this indicate there is a good relation between employer and the employee. This is the meaning of industrial relation over here. And second meaning of these industrial relations, okay, this is the industrial relations is the complex of interrelation between employees, employer, and the government. Okay, again question comes in front of you, the government comes in picture. When the government comes in picture, okay, if the dispute or conflict, first there are two machineries. Machinery means weights to sort out this industrial dispute. Okay, first is preventive machinery and second is settlement machinery. First in preventive machineries, okay, both the parties means employer and the employee, both mutual understanding or collective bargaining or with the help of the negotiation, they always try to solve their problem individually. And if the problem does not solve with mutually, then government comes in picture. Government comes in picture means that is called settlement machinery. Means government comes. Who is the government? That is the labor officer, board of conciliation officer, board of conciliation, labor courts, industrial courts, the industrial tribunal, all this comes under the order. Means in this way, government comes in picture to sort out this issue. Okay, that's why the meaning of this industrial relations is it is the relations, is the complex of interrelation among employees, employer, and government. Okay, very lastly, the government comes in picture. Lastly, first both the party they are going to solve their problem, and if that problem does not solve, then government comes in picture. Means they always try to maintain the industrial peace in that organization. That is called industrial relations. Before that, we are going to see in the industrial relation in India, because you should know pre-independence, post-independence, what was the scenario of industrial relations. Okay, this industrial relation in India, the shortly the history of industrial relations. Okay, the history of industrial relations started along with the industrial revolutions. Okay, the industrial relation is the basically focus on a transmission of handmade production towards the machine-made productions. Okay, handmade to the machine-made means in this way the textile industry was the industry which dominated the revolutions. Okay, this is the time when the concept of industrial relation evolved for the first time. Okay, textile industry from that time. Okay, in industrial relation in India, stated a long back, where in the 19th century, the Indian labor force have very bad situation. Indian laborers face very bad situations. Okay, the relations between employer and the employee were the dominated over there. Okay, this is the time. Okay, where the employer treat they have given the very bad treatment to their employees over there, and the relation was not so good. During that time, the employees were hired and fired. Okay, and during this period, the employee the face several problems like poor wages, then poor working conditions, absence of job security, long working hours. Today is 8 hours, means every employee they have to work 40 hours in a week, means 8 hours per day. But previous it was 12 hours, 10 hours. Okay, means long working hours, absence of welfare facilities. Then employees strike, low productivity, and absence of skilled labor during 19th century. Okay, in that state, in that stage, when both the management and government was trying to find out the solutions of these major labor issues. Above are the issues over there, that is the poor wages, absence of job security, long working hours, employees strike, low productivity, absence of a skilled labor. That's why government or the management always try to find out the solutions of these major issues. And at that times, the labor international labor organizations, that is ILO, has been formed to create the peace in the industry at the in this international level. Okay, and during that time, the Trade Dispute Act 1929 was introduced. Okay, in it introduced, and this is how the role of IR started in Indian organizations. Okay, and during that time, the government were formed the Dispute Settlement Authority. Dispute Settlement Authority means machinery. They have to find out, just like as a collective bargaining to solve the industrial issue. Collective bargaining is very useful way to sort out the issues or to sort out the conflict. Collective means jointly. Bargaining means negotiation. Means jointly negotiation would be carried out. Jointly between these two parties, employer and the employee, jointly they sort out their issues. Okay. There various working hours problem, wages problems, or any type of facility they require, means they try to find out the solution over there with the help of the collective bargaining, means jointly negotiations over there. They find out the issue over there or sort out the issue during that time. Okay. When IR, industrial relation during pre-independence. Okay. What are the IR stages? Here, in the pre-independence day, the workers were hired and fired as the principle of demand and supply governed by the industrial relations. The employer was in commanding positions and the condition of employment and wages were very poor, which led to revolutionary movement. And there were hardly any law to protect and the interest of a worker except this Employer and Workmen Dispute Act 1860, which was used to settle the dispute. Which was this is that during that time, this was the only one act which was used to settle the wage dispute, that Employer and the Workmen Dispute Act 1860. Okay, but after the First World War, that is 1914 to 1918, okay, the IR assumed a new dimension in the sense that workers resorted to violence and employer lockouts. There were numerous strikes and lockouts during the result of a government enacted. Okay, during that time, after Second War, the government enacted Trade Dispute Act 1929 for the early settlements of an industrial dispute and prohibited or banned on strike in public utility service. Okay, mean in public utility service, that is like telephones, electricity, water supply, postal services, transport, and insurance. That comes under the utility services, public utility services. And from this time, the role of HR has been started. Okay, means this Trade Dispute Act 29, he totally banned on strike. Okay, and it also prohibited the strike or lockout without notice in public utility service. Okay, that is most important. Without notice in public utility services. First, they have to inform to the government or they have to inform to the management. Okay, while going to the strike, notice is information or giving the notice. Written notice is very much essential for them. But when this act came into existence, Trade and Dispute Act, it prohibited the strike or lockout without notice in public utility services. Okay, yes. After that, in 1938, the Bombay government enacted the Bombay Industrial Relation Act, that is called BIR Act. Okay, what is this act? BRI Act, Bombay Industrial Relations Act. Okay, this act is extend to the Maharashtra and Gujarat state only. It is implemented or it is extend to the Maharashtra and Gujarat only. Okay, this act, BRI Act, it's provide machinery for settlement of dispute by arbitration on considerations of equity, justice, and goods services. Okay, means BIR Act gives to provide the machinery for settlement. Machinery means ways to sort out industrial dispute with the help of the arbitration. Arbitration. Who is the arbitration? Arbitration is the third party person. That is called voluntary arbitration. Is the third party person, not concerned with that organization. And both the disputed party, means employer and employee, they raise their grievances. Grievances means their disputed or their problem in front of that voluntary arbitrations. Okay, both the parties. Okay, and after hearing their grievances, the voluntary arbitration, he gives his judgment. He gives his judgment where in favor of that employees or where in favor of management. It is compulsory for all. That's why the role this act is enacted, BRR, and very useful act. It provides the machinery to settle the industrial dispute with the help of arbitrations. Okay, third party person. Okay, and it also promote the collective bargaining also. Means this BR help to the employees over there with the help of the arbitration, means the third party persons, as well as collective bargaining. Collective bargaining means jointly negotiations with management and you sort out your issue over there. In this way, the BIR Act is helpful for employees over there. After that, the IR in India post-independence. Post-independence. What happened? In the post-independence, the industrial relations in India during the post-independence era underwent a significant change. One of the most significant development in the field of industrial relations was enacted the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Okay, what this act says that industrial dispute means conflict between employer and the employer. What are the reasons for the conflict arises? Okay, generally we can see the conflict arises in industry because of economic factor and second is non-economic factor. In economic factor, generally we can see the demand for higher wages or demand for allowances and bonuses. Okay, that's why this concern with economical, they concern with monetary benefits. Okay, that's why this is economic factor. And second is non-economic factors, means that is the improper working conditions and working hours. Then modernizations and automations of plant and machineries. Then personal causes like dismissal, retrenchment. Retrenchment means excess manpower taken out from the organizations. Excess manpower taken out from the organization, that is called retrenchment carried out. After that, layoff. Layoff means certain period of a time the company closed down their unit because of less market demand or excessive inventory in their workplace. That during that time the management declared the layoff over there. Or next one is reason for dispute is non-recognition of trade union. That is most important. Okay, non-recognition of a trade union. Okay, when the employees they form their unions. Okay, the recognition from the management is very much essential. If management give the recognitions, then this become as a major union over there. Okay, that's why to take a recognition from the management is very much essential. And that union, during that, when the recognition is given by the management, so management discuss any type of matter with that union because that is recognized union. Okay, any type of matters means wages problems or atomization problem, expansion problems, or any facility they have to give. All they are the discuss with that union. because that union is recognized unions. Okay, if management did not give such type of accept such type of factors, that is the economic factor or non-economic factor, then industrial dispute arises. Dispute means conflict arises between employer and the employee. Okay, means these are the reasons, economic factors and non-economic factors. Okay, means in this way, in IR, in post-independence, means industrial dispute act came into existence. Okay, and after that, the machinery comes over here. Machinery means ways to sort out the industrial dispute, like preventive machinery as well as the settlement machineries. Settlement, that is in preventive machinery, works committee comes, then grievance procedure comes, and after that, a settlement machinery, that is conciliations. The board of conciliation comes over there. Then industrial courts comes here. Industrial tribunal comes over. Means in this way, the changes has carried out post-independence changes in various changes carried out in industry. Means in this way, the dispute, when dispute arises, which can be sorted out with the help of these machineries, with the help of the preventive machinery or with the help of the settlement machinery over there. Okay. After that, the Industrial Employment or Standing Order Act 1946 came into existence. Okay, in this Standing Order Act, okay, the revolution would be carried out over here. Okay, in which the classification of worker, that is whether workers is a permanent worker or temporary worker or apprenticeship workers over there. Also, the intimations to the workmen periods and hour of workings, holiday, pay dates, and wage rate. Everything they have to mention over there. Then shift working, then attendance and late coming, then termination of an employee, suspension or dismissal of an employee over there. Means all this, the standing order comes over there. Means the employer, they have to frame such of this standing order to their employees. So in this way, the revolution would be carried out. Okay. After that, the Factory Act 1948 came into existence over there. Okay. Here we're going to focus in IR, generally welfare provisions, we're going to focus over there. Okay. In Factory Act, the welfare provisions, it is starting from the section 42 to section 49. Okay, out of which the in welfare facilities there is washing facilities, then facility for storing and drying clothing, then facility for the sitting, then first aid appliances, canteen facilities, shelter, restroom and lunchroom, crimes facility and welfare facility. Means in this way, certain amendment carried out or changes carried out in industries after the post-independence. Okay. After that, the ESIC Act, that Employees State Insurance Act, 1948 came into existence. Okay, and which is helpful for that employee, and that employee take a benefits. Not only that employee, but that employee, insured employee, whole family take a benefits. Which type of benefits? That is a sickness benefits, medical benefits, maternity benefits, disabled benefits, and dependents benefits. Depends, that's every employee takes. That's employee as well as his whole family take benefits of this ESIC. Okay, and after that, the Minimum Wages Act 1948 came into existence. Okay, this Minimum Wages Act, okay, that government, every state government, they have to declare the minimum wages as per the industry. Generally, we can see in most of the industry, the wages are vary. Okay, generally we can see in automobile industry, chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, or engineering, plastic industry, the wages are vary. Okay, means during that time, the state government form a committee. In that committee, equal number of employer and equal number of employees. They form a committee. They take a survey and submit the report to the state government. And through that report given by that committee, then that government declare the minimum wages. How much minimum wages you have to give to particular industry, depend upon the industry, because every industry wages are vary, and it is compulsory for every employer to give the wages as per this minimum wages act. Okay, but generally we can see, okay, this government said that you have to give the wages as per this minimum wages act. Okay, minimum wages you have to give, but generally we can see some industry they are giving the fair wages also. Fair wages. Take example of a Bajaj Auto. Take example of a Tata Motors. Okay, they always give the wages higher than this minimum wages. They always give the fair wages to their employee. Yes, they for that purpose the worker maintain their standard of living over there. That's why in this way the revolution or changes carried out in the in India after post independence. Okay, out of it these laws or this act came into existence, that is Industrial Dispute Act, then Industrial Employment and Standing Order Act, Factories Act, ESIC Act, and Minimum Wages Act. Okay, and what are the objectives to formation of these industrial relations? What are the objectives? Well, first, to avoid the industrial conflict and to create industrial peace. Okay, first important to avoid the industrial conflict. What are the reasons? Recently, we have seen the conflict for industrial dispute. That first, demand for higher wages, demand for allowances and bonus. This is the most reasons for demand for higher wages. Okay, and after that conflict arises because of a working condition in working hours, higher working time, then atomizations or modernization of a plant or machinery. Okay, the conflict arises. Why this is so? Because workers or union always oppose the atomizations or modernizations of plant and machinery. Why this is so? Because job security. Job security, that is most important. Okay, when the management give the assurance to their employee, because today's scenario is atomizations. Every company, every industry, they require the atomizations. Okay, when they are going to sustain in this competitive market, the atomization is must. Okay, but while implementing the modernization or automation in their industry, the management has to give the assurance to their employee for their job security, and that's why it minimizes the industrial conflict. Then it's avoid the industrial conflict and it create a industrial peace. Industrial peace means there is no dispute in that organizations. Everything is silent. That is a good sign for that company or that is a good sign for that organizations. Okay, means this industrial peace indicates there is a good relation between employer and the employee. Okay, that is the first object of this industrial relations, to avoid the industrial conflict and create industrial peace in that organizations. Also to maintain the industrial democracy. Industrial democracy means to give the freedom to their employee. Democracy means freedom, to give the freedom to their employee to share their views, idea, concept with each other. Okay, with each other or with the management, and this is helpful for the employee. This is helpful for the organization to increase or to improve the productivity or quality of the product. Generally, we can see the employee always share their views idea with the help of the suggestion scheme. Employ the suggestion scheme. Okay, because that employee always working on that machinery, he knows everything, which type of a modification which you have to carry out for that purpose. The productivity increases as well as the quality of the product increases. Okay, that's why this is important to maintain the industrial democracy. When that employee gives his suggestions to the management, when there is a good relation between these two parties, then and then only it is possible to maintain the industrial democracy in the organization. Third is raise the productivity. Yes, that is most important when there is a good relation between these two parties. Okay, and management take care of their employee. They provide all type facility to their employee. Definitely, all the employee get motivated, and once the employee get motivated, productivity increases. Productivity increases. That is important, and it also help to eliminate the strike and lockout. Eliminate the strike and lockout because the relation is good. Relation is good between employer and the employee. Management take care of their employee. The management provide all type facility to their employee. Then definitely it will help for the organizations to eliminate the strike and lockout. Means there is no questions from the strike and lockouts. Means management take care of their employee. They provide, or they are giving handsome salary to their employee over there. They are giving provide allowances and bonuses also to their employee. Everything they have to provide to their employee. So there is no chance for the strike and lockout. Okay, when it is possible, when there is a good relation between these two parties. Okay, it enhances economic status of workers. Okay, when productivity increases, when productivity increases, sale increases, profit increases, and when profit increases, the salary of that worker increases. The salary of that worker increases, definitely the economic status of that worker increases. Okay, it enhances economic status of worker because of this raise in productivity. Because of this, okay, this is possible, and increase the participation of workers. That is called worker participation in management. Worker participation in management means while taking of any decisions, that is the wages problem, working condition problem, automizations, or moderations of plant or machinery, anything the decision management has to take care, they have to involve. Okay, they have to involve the workers, and combinedly or collectively both the party they have to take a decisions. In this way they increase the participation of workers, and that is called worker participation in management, to take such type of decisions. Okay, when it is possible only when the relation between these two parties is good. Okay, that is the objectives of industrial relations. Next one is most important in IR, that is the industrial relations, that is trade union plays an important role over years. You should know the trade union starting from when the first trade union was formed. What is the today's scenario? Okay, the first workers union was formed in India under the leadership of Mr. Narayan Meghaji Lokhande in 1890. In 18th century, the first union was formed under the leadership of Mr. Narayan Lokhande in 1890. After that, various union comes or forms, formation started. In 1890, All India Trade Union Congress was formed. Okay. After that is 1940, then All India Trade Union Congress, and after that formation of Indian National Trade Union Congress was formed. After that, in 1948, the Socialists separated from All India Trade Union Congress and they formed HMS, that is Hind Mazdoor Sabha, in 1948. And after that, in 1955, Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh he was formed. Was formed. After that, in 1965, Hind Mazdoor Panchayat was formed, and after that, in 1972, see to that the Center of India Trade Union was formed. These are the formation of union is carried out, because in IR the role of union is very much important over there. Trade union is very much important. Okay, what are the object? What are the object of this trade union? Why the unions they form in that company or organization? What are the object behind that? First, negotiate negotiate agreement with the management and deal with all the issues. Okay, negotiate the agreement, then we can see workers agreements are carried out every 3 years. Workers agreements are carried out when workers put their charter of demands in front of management, in front, and the workers representative, that is we can say that union leaders and management representative, they have to negotiate, they have to discuss one by one, means charter of demands over there. Okay, so during that negotiations, some demands management accepted, certain demands management rejected also. It is not possible to accept all the demands of the union. Not possible, because worker giving the lot of demand. It is not possible to accept all the demands. Certain demands management accepted, certain demands management rejected, and on certain demand negotiation will be carried out. Okay, and this is the main object of the trade union, to negotiate this agreement with the management and deal with all the issues. जो भी उनका issue है, issues related working conditions, issues related to wages problem, they have to sort out. Okay, yes, this is the first object. Then next is arbitrations, by which unsettled or unresolved dispute can be settled by the outside agency. Okay, that is the object. Arbitration, this is third party. Okay, third party person. Recently we have seen the arbitration is third party person. Generally, what happens? Certain problems we are not solved by the union and management. Okay, that's why, which is unsettled or unresolved dispute. Okay, like working conditions problems or dissatisfactory policies, company policies, or poor employee relations over there, or improper wage adjustment over there. Okay, these are the unsettled matter or unsolved disputes which can be settled by the outside agencies. Means both the parties, employer and the employee, mutually decided, yes, we have to appoint a third party person, that is the arbitrations. Okay, arbitration, and after both the party raise their grievances in front of that third party person, that is arbitration, and after hearing, the arbitration gives his decisions, and it is, and after that the decisions given by the arbitration, it is mandatory for the both the parties. Okay, that's why the object, okay, behind this trade union is appointment of this arbitration, that is the third party person. Then recognition of a trade union, okay, that is important. This is the object behind the recognition of a trade union. When workers they form their unions, for formation of a union, minimum 7 members are required. Minimum 7 members they form their union. Okay, various process they have to carry out over for the registration of a trade union. Okay, once the registration of a trade union is carried out, then after role is carried out for the recognition of trade union through management. Okay, and this is the duty of trade union to take a recognition from the management. Okay, recognition, and once management gives the recognitions, then any type of matter the management always discuss with that trade union, because that trade union is recognized union. Okay, generally what happen, most of the company, generally we can see most of the company, there are 2 or 3 unions over there. Take example of a Tata Motors. In Tata Motors, right now there are the 3 unions over there, 3 unions, workers union over there. Okay, but based on that, one is a major union. Major union means having the maximum number of employee join in that union. That is called major union. And major union which is decided by the, with the help of the ballot system, with the help of the voting system or ballot system in front of a labor officers. Okay, and after that labor officer is decided, yes, this is the maximum number of employee strength of this union. That's why this is the major union over there. Okay, and after that the recognition of a trade union very important. Why this is so? Because all types of the matters regarding the wages problem, working condition problem, atomizations, all these matters the management always discuss with this recognized trade union. That's why not only formation of a trade union is important, but after formation of that trade union, to take a recognition from the management is very much important. Okay, that is the object behind that. Okay, recognition of a trade union. Then after that, improve the working and living condition of workers. Okay, improve the working conditions of the worker. If any problems, if problems in working conditions, okay, the union leader always discuss over there. Over there. Okay, generally what happens in production area, that the proper ventilation is required, proper lighting facility is required, then drinking water facility is required. Okay, proper safety equipment required over there. Means in this way, and that the working place should be kept neat, clean, and hygienic over there. Okay, that's why this matter always discuss with union leader, with the management. That's why this is the importance of trade union, they have to discuss, union leader, they have to discuss with the management over there. Means in this way, it helps to the employee to improve their working and living condition over there. Okay. And after that, main important object of a trade union to safeguard jobs, safeguard of job, because those employees are the member of that union. So it is not possible to dismiss that employee or suspend that employee. Okay, because the backing of that union is over there. That's why it is not possible to directly suspend that employee or terminate that employee over there. Okay, but in case of a theft, fraud carried out by that employee, then permanent termination is carried out. Okay, terminate in case of a fraud or theft or damage of employer's property, deliberately damage of employer's property. Employer's property means deliberate damage machinery of that employee, then immediate termination is carried out. During that time, no one can help you. Even union also cannot help you. Okay, but in case of misconduct, misbehavior, or in case of a suspension, okay, definitely the trade union always help that employee over there. That is important safeguard of a job. Okay, safeguard guard job of that employee. Okay, and second is for the atomizations also, because when the atomizations management, they have to take a decision for the atomization in the plant. Okay, okay, during that time, the union leader always discuss with the management regarding the job security of that employee. Okay, then and then only the union give the permissions for atomizations. Okay, that is important safeguard of every employee. The next one is to fulfill the financial needs of the worker when there are a stoppage of work. Means union always help to the workers when there are stoppage of work or where there are layoff is carried out over there in that company. They always help to the workers for financial needs. Means in this way, the role of trade union in the organizations is very much important over there. Okay. Yes. The next one is industrial dispute. Industrial dispute. Recently, we have seen the industrial dispute over there. Okay. In industrial dispute, okay, dispute means conflict. Conflict in industrial relations. Okay, this industrial dispute refers to disagreement in industrial relations. Disagreement means dispute in industrial relation means dispute between employer and the employee, which may be in the form of strike or other form of industrial action between employer and the employee. That's why this is the role of HR manager. If such type of a dispute arises or any type of a conflict arises, to solve this type of a dispute immediately. Immediately, otherwise it goes up to the strike and lockout, and after that lockout also. Okay, generally such type of a situation happen. Okay, though that matter is, according to you, that matter is very small matters. Okay, that shortage of breakfast in the canteen, shortage of a breakfast, according to you, this matter is very small, but it goes up to the strike also, and it was happen in company. When the shortage of breakfast, it goes up to the strike. Okay, that's why it is important roles the HR manager has to take place when such type of a conflict arises or dispute arises. He has to solve such type of a dispute immediately. Okay, discuss with the top management and sort out the issue immediately. Okay, and always maintain the industrial peace in the organizations and always try to maintain the peace over there. Okay, that's why this is the industrial dispute over there. And various causes for the industrial dispute. Okay, generally we can see the causes of industrial dispute. That is, there are mainly two causes. That is economic factor, and second is non-economic factor. That's why the dispute or conflict arises between employer and the employee. Conflict arises. Okay. What is economic factor? It is totally based on